Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome back to the Tour de France 2020 Pro Team Career Mode with the TIJ Racing Team. And today it is time for an absolute whopper of a stage. Please do not go away, it is going to be a mega stage. 3 first class climbs, that is kind of a headline. That's all you need to know about the next stage. It is going to be an absolute whopper. But before we get into that, let's have a quick reflection on the last few stages that we played in the last video. Now stage number 8 was a good one for us in terms of the mountain climbs. Gegenhardt took 8 points, no quibbles there. In terms of points, Swift took 20 points, which was joint top with Vogelsang. I can't complain about that at all. A little bit disappointed we couldn't take the stage, but a lot of guys are going for that, trying to get the bonus. Well, it wasn't actually the bonus at the top, but just trying to win the stage. Stage 3 was great, to be honest. We very nearly... stage 7 was very great. When I was looking at the number 3, and for some reason I said 3 instead of 7. But Swift got a podium, brilliant for him, he finished 3rd. In terms of the climbing classification, again, Van Baarle took 8 points, and in the points classification, Ben Swift took 35 points. So after 8 of the 21 Tour de France stages, Medouas is in the top 20, we've got Gegenhardt and Van Baarle in the top 30, so even though we're not competing for the yellow jersey, we can be very proud of having a guy in the top 20. In terms of the best climber classification, we've got 3 guys in the top 6, of course. We have led that classification for a while, we've got a real good double lead front lead with Medouas and Gegenhardt. 49 points for Medouas and 34 for Gegenhardt. This stage, though, a big opportunity for someone like Roglic or Vogelsang to really dig into that lead if we have a bad day. And then in the points classification, Swift only 32 points behind the leader Ewan now. And to put that into perspective, we were 75 points behind a few stages ago. So an excellent job from Ben Swift to do as he has done. But as I said, it's a tough stage today. Let's have a quick look at the stage profile. I usually do 2 stages a video, but looking at this one, there is no way we can do 2 stages. The first half of the stage isn't too bad at all, really. 2 third-class climbs and a second-class climb. You can see they're not too unforgiving, they're not too hard. And then there's a sprint, and then after that, 3 first-class climbs in quick succession. And bear in mind as well, the trickiness comes that we've got to do the first 5 climbs without a feed. We've got to survive those first 5 climbs with the 1 feed. And if it's a bad day for us, it's not a disaster. Again, we're not going for the yellow jersey, but this is going to be one where we get the popcorn out, see what happens with the big guns, and luckily after this we have a rest day and then 2 nice flat stages. But it's a day for Medouas, Gegenhardt, Van Baarle to show what they're made of, and a day for the likes of Swift, Lawless and Bjerg just to grit their teeth, do as well as they can, but just concede that they're not going to be at the front at the end.
Hello and welcome to all. Despite the absence of celebrated climbs on the race profile, this still remains a demanding mountain stage. With 4,700 metres of vertical gain, it's hard to imagine that a non-climber will shine at the summit of the Prat d'Albis.
Well, I think that today, or in a few stages' time, unfortunately, we're going to lose our first rider. I think Marder is going to drop out of the field. He's really starting to struggle now, but he's done really well to get to this point. So, stage number 9, it's a big one. Now, initially, I wasn't going to have anybody in the break. I was just going to tell everyone just to calm it down, ensure a minimum tempo, because ultimately the peloton will come back. But we've recommended to have Gegenhardt in the breakaway, and I thought, you know what? We might as well have someone in the breakaway. It's going to be a day where it's demanding. We'll listen to the sports director first.
And positioning. The Mur de Pécaire is very narrow, and you've got to be well placed if you want to attack or react to attack. But before that, you've got to be in a decent position on the Porte de l'Air. Let's go. Have a good stage.
I'm fully looking forward to it, I have to say. But as I was saying, we might as well have someone in the breakaway, because even though it's going to be a really demanding day today, we get a day off, and then Gegenhardt, which is the man in the breakaway, he can sit nicely in the peloton for those next 2 stages. So I'm not too worried. And as I've said earlier, because we're not going for the general classification, we haven't particularly got to worry about exerting ourselves too much and falling down, because to compete for the yellow jersey, you've got to be consistent. To compete for the mountains jersey, as long as you get the points in those big stages like today, it shouldn't matter. As they say, we've got a minute on the peloton. Nobody big for the mountains classification now. I watch Evenepoel with a bit of interest. Apart from that, nobody else. Maybe Benoot, he might catch up, but we've got a good gap to the peloton. Don't want to exert ourselves too much, but we'll see how we go. We've got a good gap. I can't see the peloton catching up for a while. There we go. Get a nice touch talking about Gegenhardt there. But I'll see you guys at the first mountain pass of the day. It's very much two straight after one another. But yeah, could be a good opportunity to get a few points. Well, would you look at this? 14 guys in the breakaway. All of the breakaways have merged. Quite unbelievable. So I'm going to put my foot down with Gegenhardt. Try and get away. I don't want this big of a breakaway. I really don't. Really not going to help anything. So we split the breakaway up. I don't think he's going to do too much, but it does split it into two. In fact, now 3 distinct group. Evener Powell being the only guy that comes with us. And you might be thinking, why aren't you calling Evener Powell? Well, we did discover in the last video that the quick step riders aren't licensed, so his name is Evener Powell, not Evener Powell, so I'm going to be referring him to as that now. But I think that was a good decision to go away from the group. It's not the toughest of climbs, and it just creates a bit of a gap. Again, we don't want everyone in this breakaway to stay with it. A group of about 5 or 6 is about right. A group of 13 or 14, no, it's just way too much.
Keep an eye on him. He's the best climber in the breakaway.
Best climber in the breakaway, is he? We'll see about that. Again, we're putting a lot of pace in here. It's going to be between the two of us, isn't it? Nobody else is going to catch up at this point. But as I said, let's see what he's made of. Try and regain a bit of energy. And then go. Might have gone a bit too early. Best climber in the breakaway, is he? Best climber in the breakaway, is he? Funny that. Cracking stuff. We've got a good gap to our competitors. I think that'll probably close down a little bit now. We're not going to set the biggest of pace, are we? But, yeah, 2 points took. I'm happy with that. Yeah, unfortunately, the whole group comes back to us. We're going to follow for a little while. And then launch a bit of a lighter attack this time. We don't want to exert ourselves too much. It's very even, in fact, all the way to the top. Evener Powell not at the front this time, and we're going to push Bambilla out of the way. Another 2 points would be good. We were on 34 at the start of this stage. I think we're doing this on 49, if I'm correct, or 47. I can quickly check that, but I know it's somewhere in that region, so we could definitely make some gains on our teammate. It's more so to put the gap between us and everybody else, but Gilbert's given us a good run for our money, and it's going to be him who gets the 2 points. Well, we couldn't do a lot about that. Very well done to him. Can't complain about that. So, 3 points from the first 2 climbs. Can't argue with that at all. A big gap back to the peloton. In fact, a huge gap back to the peloton. Just going to follow our opponents. We've got a second class climb coming up. A little bit tougher, and I'll see you guys when we get there. Well, this is where the climb gets very tough. You can see it's not the toughest of second class climbs. It's just this last portion. But this is the last climb before we get to the 3 first class climbs. And I'll tell you what, I do wonder whether the peloton's going to catch up, especially before that first one. We'll have to see. 3 minutes can go very quickly, but it's going to be an interesting one. This is certainly a good gap. We're not going to make it to the end of the stage and win it, I know that much, but we could get to the next climb. So very tough. The group's very much been spaced out here. We've gone early. And obviously, because this is a tougher climb, we're going to run out of that red energy quicker. Don't think anyone's going to put too much pace in here, though. And that is a cracking 5 points. Awesome. Great stuff. And obviously, we get our energy back coming down here. So, that's 8 points. Really strong display from Gegenhardt. As I said, we're rotating in effect between our 3 guys in the breakaway. It seems to be working, though. And, again, the main guys, I don't know who they are at this point, but the Rojleeks and Fuglsangs of this world, I guess they want to stay in the peloton. But there isn't really any competitors. I remember there was De Gent in my playthrough with Team Ineos. There aren't any competitors who are just willing to get in the breakaway and go for mounting points. I'd argue the same for the points classification. There's only really guys going for it at the end of stages. So we've got a different plan to the rest, and to be honest, it seems to be working at the moment. Well, I don't think I'm going to bother going for this sprint with anyone because, unfortunately, because there are so many in the breakaway, there's only 1 point available for Swift. And, well, we've got to be fairly unlucky for the likes of Trontin to get it, or somebody like that. We've got to be very unlucky, haven't we? I mean, the second place guy is falling back now. Again, I don't think we're going to lose much. And, yeah, no problem there. Absolutely no problem. You can see that as we head to the first class climb, that the peloton hasn't really got the gap back. So there could be a big 10 points on offer for Gegenhardt here. Interesting. Well, this is the point where the day starts to get really tough. The first class climb. It's a war of attrition. You know, the likes of Marder, Lawless, and even Swift are going to fall off the cliff. I'm really impressed by how Swift does, by the way. He does a really good job. But Quintana, Swift starting to struggle. Meduis and Van Baal doing okay. Just got to keep tabs on those guys. I think Meduis and Van Baal will be just fine. Remember, we've got to do a whole climb after this. Without a feed. So we just got to bear... Well, not without a feed, but without a refill in effect. So Meduis and Van Baal really starting to struggle now. No surprise that all of the guys behind are struggling. We might as well just give those guys some feed. And we'll just ride on board with Gegenhardt, try and manage the pace. And I think every kilometre we'll check in with the guys behind, make sure they're not losing too much energy, because we really want, especially Meduis and Gegenhardt. Okay, Van Baal falls back. I mean, Van Baal's, yeah, he's okay. I don't know why I said Gegenhardt, he's up in this group. But as long as Meduis and Van Baal stay with that group, then if the other guys fall back, and the other guys fall back. But as predicted, we're going to, well, somebody in this breakaway is going to get some points. Don't know if it's going to be us, but this is the toughest part of this climb, so we might as well give it full beans now. In fact, I feel like going for it here, you know. Go for it here, and then it's not as bad later, but might have gone a little bit early. I don't know, we'll have to see. Depends whether our opponents can persist. We might as well just slow it down a little. As you can see, the toughness ends very, very soon. We're okay, it's just about getting to the top, really, and making sure we're okay. Need to just check in on the guys behind. Meduis and Van Baal are struggling. Yeah. I'd love to go back and give him... that's the problem. You can't give him half a feed, can you? I think... Get Van Baal to protect Meduis. I think he's doing the opposite, and that's not working at the moment. So, yeah, just get Van Baal to protect Meduis, and hopefully he should be okay to get to the top. If not, we'll have to step in, but I don't really want to use any of that feed with our main guys just yet. You can see that line's coming up fairly soon. Only 3 guys going for this, so we'll get some tasty points here. And it's time to go. Can we win the first class climb? Looks like we will. Brilliant. Oof, only just. Goodness me. Right, let's check in with Meduis and Van Baal. Ensure minimum tempo. Not interested about protecting anyone as such. I think we do need... I think actually we might just get to the top just fine. I'm just going to get on board with Meduis though here, just to make sure he's okay. Oh wow, Gegenhardt's now took the lead of the climber standings. I don't think Meduis is going to be too chuffed about that. He hopefully will get an opportunity a bit later on though to do something about that. But the good news is that in this group of 39 we still have got Meduis, Van Baal, and I think Quintana's here as well. So that's good news. That is good news. I'm happy with that. Just keep tabs on Meduis. Obviously we'll gain a lot of energy coming down here. That's why I didn't want to use any of my feed, because it's only any good to get to the top of the climb. You know, it's no use coming back down because you'll regain a lot of energy coming back down. 61 k's to go though. 2.5 minutes is the gap between the peloton and the leaders. I'd like to gain a little bit on this group, by the way. We seem to be a little bit further off than perhaps we should be. It's very easy once you lose the back of the peloton there. If you lose the back of the peloton, it's very easy and very hard, I suppose, not be able to get back onto it. But there we go. Fine, that's okay. Right, okay, that's good. Absolutely fine. Ensure minimum tempo. And, yeah, because of what we've done, it then leaves the flexibility to use all of our feed, should we need it, in the second or the third first-class climbs. But this is a big opportunity for Gegenhardt today. Again, an opportunity that we didn't really intend to occur. But if he takes the lead of the climber standings, he does. But gain a lot of energy coming down here. As you can see, the breakaway is completely split apart. And as per our predictions earlier on, it's Gegenhardt and Evan Powell in the main breakaway. Oh, yikes, look at this. So the second the first class climbs, it's all swimming. It's the whole calm before the storm idea. That whole boom. That was terrible, but you know what I mean. It's a very dramatic change. It's all okay for now, and then it gets really tough. So we'll be okay with everyone behind. You can see Quintana is starting to struggle now, which is a shame. We don't really need him to be in the relay. I don't think that's going to do any good for him. And I don't think Medus or Van Baal protecting one another is going to help either. We need them both there. I think Gegenhardt will be alright. He's got as you can see, he's got a massive amount of energy. Nearly 3 minutes above the peloton. I don't think we're going to shock the field and win the stage, but I think Evenepoel's a good partner to have here. Definitely is. So it's a shorter climb this, but it's going to be absolutely brutal towards the end. Hence why we're not using too much energy at the start of this. I mean, Benoit, Latour, those guys have just completely bailed, and we've got a brilliant gap. Obviously, time bonus is available at the top. It's not going to be important to Evenepoel either because he's in 31st place. Now, I think, yes, both of us are young riders, so there's a chance to make some gains in that classification. Obviously, it's Bernal who leads that. We're not really going to beat him, I don't think, but we can always give ourselves a chance. But a little while yet till things get really tough, and I'll see you guys when the pain really starts. There you go, the 5 kilometre line. So Quintana has now dropped back. So it's our 3 main boys who are in this. No surprise. In fact, just to... Yes, I've already given everybody else their blue feeds. So, yeah, not too bothered about the rest. They should all be okay. So it's very close on now. Just keep an eye on what this is. 3.3. I think it's going to be 3 kilometres. So I'll keep an eye on Van Baal and Medus' energy when they get there. But this is a brilliant chance. We've got Gegenhardt with a full tank of feed. Again, there's only 1 climb to go after this. It is tough here, but I think with a full feed, surely we must get to the top here. I just hope that Evenepoel doesn't bail on us, because that makes it really, really tricky if he does. So, just need to check on those guys. Probably when they get to the 3 kilometre mark, I'll take a step back. You can see that the energy's not dropping too quickly, so not panicking too much. In terms of Gegenhardt, Medus is starting to struggle, so blue gel time to him, I think. If he takes his blue, then hopefully he should be okay. Just check he's all okay. It's going to be a struggle. It is going to be a struggle for him. Oh wow, Medus is dropping back. Well, you can't do a lot about that, unfortunately. Van Baal's doing okay. I think we just took it a bit late with Medus. Try and maybe get... yeah, I think it might be time for Van Baal to take his... He does. Does he take it? Yes, Van Baal's took his feed. I think that's a good idea and great. Medus is back up there with him. I will switch back to Van Baal in a minute to take the red gel. I'm just conscious we haven't took any with Gegenhardt yet. Take a full guzzle of energy. 1 kilometre to go. We will get to the top of here just fine, I think. What a performance this is. This would be another great 10 points. Again, Medus is struggling, but he's got absolutely no feed now, so he's just got to keep going, keep muscling, and hopefully he doesn't drop back. I think he will, unfortunately, but just fingers crossed that he won't. Evenepoel starting to drop back now. So it's just going to be us at the top of this climb. I think Van Baal could do with his feed. It's tough on everyone, this is. But Gegenhardt is doing brilliantly. He doesn't even need any red gel. He's on the top of his game. This is an unbelievable display from Theo Gegenhardt. The top of the climb is just here. It feels like the end of the stage. It's not, but what a performance this is. It's going to be a solo effort at the top. And Theo Gegenhardt wins the first class climb by nearly 40 seconds. Wow. Absolutely outstanding. We'll get a nice bit of help as we come down here. Van Baal still in the top group, so I'm going to try and keep him as well placed as possible here. It's so tricky. Yeah, we are running on empty, but I think everybody else is as well. There's a very small group, including the likes of Bernal, who are okay. But I think that we just keep on board with Van Baal. He's our second place man. We want to make sure he's okay. I mean, we are still comfortably in the top 30 here. So we've got our energy back. Just set a decent pace to the top. And we'll be comfortable. We'll be decent.
We've got enough of a points lead for the polka dot jersey.
Yep, so no surprise that Gegenhardt's going to keep the polka dot jersey today. This is okay for Van Baal. Just setting a steady pace to the top. I think that, unfortunately, Medusa's a little further back. Okay, good. We've got to the top. Just get over the top line just to confirm things. Obviously, we'll get a full feed, and that will help the likes of Van Baal, but we'll get a big energy boost coming down here. So, not quite perfect for Van Baal and Medusa, but, well, Gegenhardt is the man of the day, isn't he? He's doing absolutely fantastically. Well, we did have a 3-minute gap. That gap is now 28 seconds. Now 24. But we are going to be fighting with the big guns here. We are going to be fighting with the big guns. The Bernals of this world. Geraint Thomas. I mean, Roglic isn't here. So he's had a bad day. Roglic is third. Philippe is second. He's going to lose a lot of time. But we are really in this battle. We've got a full blue feed, a full red feed. We've got a lot of energy. We are as well placed as anybody else here to take this stage. So, let's see how we get on. This is our first big test, and I'll tell you what, I think we can live with these guys. Yes, Medusa beat them in that big climb, and I think it was stage number 4, but not like this, not in a situation like this. But Medusa and Van Baal have done an excellent job. We've got Van Baal in the peloton, so he's in the top 20. We've got Medusa in the group behind him. He's doing a really good job. But if we get beaten by these guys here, there's no disgrace to it at all. Really isn't. But it is the best of the best. I mean, there's a few surprising names. Obviously, our name's surprised to being here. Only 2 young guns, really, in ourself and Bernal. Fuglsang trying to set the pace. And we will follow them. I think we can. They are setting a really good pace. Goodness me. Just don't need to use too much energy too soon here. I don't think those guys are going to go like a bat out of hell for too long. I could be wrong. But they are good, but they're not that good where they've got that amount of energy for that long. Yeah, Fuglsang and Bernal just chilling out now. Trying to get the pack to use a lot of energy. I mean, same token, they're going to have used a lot of energy. So, I'm okay with our totals at the moment. The group of 8 diminishes already to a group of 4. Bernal, I mean, Buchmann being there, he's not a name I've heard of before. They go for it again to try and gap us, I think. Well, we might as well try and go with them. What's the harm? What's the harm? That's what I say. This is the toughest portion of the climb. We're fairly well placed here. We're in 4th, so this isn't bad at all. This is the toughest part of the climb. So this is as tough as it's going to get. We will need to take some of our feed, I think. We're okay that, though, with 6Ks to go. We'll take the wheel of Bernal. There we go, just closing up to Fuglsang now. And we can be on the right pace as well, being on Bernal's wheel. I'm okay with this at the moment. I think Fuglsang will make an effort of trying to go for it again here. I don't quite think we're going to make it to the top. I don't know. Could be wrong. Just in sections like this, we need to make sure we can conserve as much energy as possible, really. Not falling back. But this would be an excellent result wherever... I mean, we're going to get 4th, aren't we, at least? I think everyone... just taking a breather here. We don't want to be caught napping where they attack, and that's what's going to happen now. They are going to try to attack. And Bernal's struggling. So, 4 now become 3. We have to take a bit more of that feed. Fuglsang putting an attack in. There we go, that's the end of that. But Bernal has bolted, and so has Buchmann. 4 now become 2. Come here, Fuglsang. Might want to tone down the energy just slightly. Things start to get easier, though, as we get to the top. So if we can live with him now, then all should be okay. I just think it's really tight here. Leaving that last bit of energy till the last minute. I think we might have to concede defeat here to Fuglsang, but if we end up second, that would be a worldly attempt. Just want to leave a little bit of energy till the last. I think Fuglsang has got it done, but, oh well, fair play to him. You know, we can't live with that pace. He's just going for it. I'm hoping that he's using too much pace here and he'll buckle before the top. But this would be a brilliant result for us. It's going to do us leaps and bounds in the general classification. It really is. We are starting to catch him now, so why not? We'll put a bit more pace in. We've only got a little bit of feed left, so we need to just keep an eye on that. We're gaining him quickly, but we're losing energy quickly. It's a fine balance. So 10 seconds is the gap. So now 11. 2Ks to go. I think we'll lose now just to lose that last little bit of feed. Well, it's going to be a comfortable second here. In fact, I've completely disregarded everyone behind. Sorry. I haven't taken their feed. Not that it's really going to matter. But this is an outstanding result. It's not all over yet, I don't think, you know. I think it probably is, but you just never know. Fuglsang, 13 seconds up the road. This is where this starts to get a bit nicer. Yep, nothing's settled. It's only a small gap. Got to go for it now, I think. Can we perform a massive shock? Just not going to quite have it, I don't think, at the end here. No, we've gone a bit early. Yeah, we're not going to get that gap, are we? We might as well go for it, you know. We're not going to. Well, he's only just won the stage as Fuglsang in the end, you know. That was outstanding from Theo Gegenhardt. It really was. We're just going to control Maduas coming up here. We all know that he was a bit more challenged, shall we say, compared to Van Baal. And he's actually going to finish ahead of Van Baal. That's a surprise. Be great if we could get up to that Roglic group, which I think we probably can, actually. We've got a bit of energy in our pocket. There's 5 points, potentially, at the top. It's not mountain points, but it's pride, and you know, if we can finish a bit higher, then why not? But what a result that is for Gegenhardt. You know, 3 seconds behind the class of the field, Fuglsang. Absolutely fantastic. Fair play to him. Brilliant stuff. Don't think we're going to gain any positions here. We might do. Try and shove them guys out the way. 16th, we'll definitely take that. You know what, we'll try and do the same with Dylan Van Baal. Take as much as we can. 3 of our guys in the top 20. We'll take that every day of the week. But the man of the day really has to be Theo Gegenhardt. What a performance from him. We'll let the other 5 get across the line by themselves. But, wow, that just puts another bit of complexion on the tour, doesn't it? Gegenhardt, so far behind his teammate, really. 20-odd points behind. And because he went in the breakaway and because he was just outstanding all round, he's pinched the Mountains jersey. And after that performance, he deserves it. He really does. So close was Gegenhardt to winning the stage. If we'd have managed that slightly better, we could have done it. But I think just proven by how we only finished 3 seconds behind it. In truth, I think this winner who's going to appear on the podium now, Jakob Fuglsang, managed that to a T as well as he could. As well as he could. He beat Bernal. Bernal's really the benchmark. He wiped the floor with him. And for us to wipe the floor with Bernal, it's a little bit surreal. And after that performance, unless he has a shocker, I can't see anybody catching Jakob Fuglsang now for the general classification. Remember that second and third place men, Philippe and Roglic, were a long way behind. So a fantastic day for Jakob Fuglsang. Now I presume it is still Ewan who leads the green jersey. I don't think that there's going to be a change there. No, but there is a change for the Mountains classification. It stays within the TIJ Racing Team, but it changes hands between Maduas and Gegenhardt. Gegenhardt well deserving of that best climber classification at the moment. Of course, it's not all over for Maduas. We're not even halfway through yet, but a big day for Gegenhardt. And will encourage a bit of competition between the two of them. But at the end of the day, we're making sure that at least one of our men win the best climber classification. And although Bernal won the, not quite yet, but he's got the young rider classification, it is not all over yet, especially from that performance from Gegenhardt. We've got a few days to recover, and that just shows how good Theo Gegenhardt can be. What a stage that was. Unbelievable. I dread to think how many points he took there, you know. It's got to be a good 30. Surely. But let's see what the standings are at the top. Absolutely outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. It was actually Buchmann who ended up third, not Bernal. Well, that's unbelievable. Medua's 16th, a good shout out to him. You can see that Roglic finished behind Meduas. And a Philippe, well, 37th place, 7 minutes back. 36 points, wow. Wow. No reply, obviously, from Meduas. 27 points in the points classification. I don't think any of the big boys got any points, which will be nice for us. We're gaining a minute or so in the young rider classification. But this is going to move Gegenhardt up quite nicely, actually, in the general classification. Second place in the team classification. That shows our top three did well. And as you can see, Fuglsang with a 3 minutes and 14 lead to the next man, Egan Bernal. I think he's got this one, barring a shock. Gegenhardt moving up 10 places to go 14th. Meduas moving up 1 to go 19th. A great day for him. The real-life winner, Pogacar, down in 22nd. Van Baal, 25th. He goes up 4 places. Quintana down 5 places. Swift down 2 places. I mean, Marder's not doing too badly, still in the top 100. But Lawless has been a real disappointment. Really has. Well, whew, I didn't realise how many points that Gegenhardt had trumped Meduas by. He just flips that, doesn't it? I know that Fuglsang's having a good run, but he's 43 points behind Gegenhardt. Wowzers. 32 behind Ewan with Swift. I mean, just what a day it was. And Gegenhardt now gains 3 places. He jumps up to second in the young rider classification. So if there are any more bad days for Egan Bernal, he could well take the white jersey. And obviously Meduas is well placed there as well. A long way behind. But crucially, the bridesmaid if Bernal makes a big mistake. And in the team's classification, just to show how well our top 3 guys are doing, albeit a long way off Ineos and Astana. But for a team that's only been going for as long as we have, it has been a fantastic run so far. Gegenhardt will take 65 points today. So that increases our lead at the top. Doing really well. And to be fair, we recover very well. We've got a rest day, of course, and then 2 flat stages. So the next episode, it won't be a Gegenhardt day or Meduas day. It'll be all about Ben Swift. As you can see, 2 sprints, 2 sprints. And those 2 stages, as I said, are all going to be about Ben Swift. We've got some interesting stages to come before the next rest day. An interesting hilly stage, 2 interesting hilly stages, which we'll do probably in combination with the flat stage, actually, in that episode. And then, as you can see, stage number 15. Not quite as bad as this one, but whew, it's close. A rest day, another mountain pass, another mountain pass, and then stage 18 is really going to decide it all. It will finish, I'll tell you what, it'll be done before you know it. And it's been incredible so far. And if you enjoyed that one, make sure to leave a like down below. A fantastic day for the team and for Theo Gegenhardt, of course. Thank you for watching. I'll be back on Thursday with stages 10 and 11 to see if we can get that gap down again in the points classification. Thank you for watching. I've been TIJ Gaming, and until Thursday, I will see you guys later. Goodbye for now.